This is my second video on long-term care, my experience with my mom. I'm going to link the first one in the show notes, and then also at the very end of this video, you can click on it and go immediately to it. My 86-year-old mom was placed in a rehab long-term care facility 50 days ago, so I thought I'd give an update. We finished the first 20 days of long-term care is covered by Medicare. My dad has a supplement that covers another 10 days. And we're currently in the 90-day exclusion period from her long-term care insurance. What that means is the first 90 days is not covered by long-term care. And then after that, she'll start receiving, my dad will start receiving checks to help pay for that. After you incur the expense, then you submit that to long-term care and they will reimburse you for that. So it's quite the ordeal, but that's not the purpose of this video. So what have I learned? What's going well? What's going poorly? So a couple learnings here on Medicaid. I spent an enormous amount of time reading, watching YouTube videos, studying elder lawyers. Never heard of the term, elder lawyers. They really specialize in getting people, taking their assets and I can't think of a better word, hiding them from the people looking at your asset base and your ability to pay for long-term care. So they can hide those but Medicaid has a 5-year look back. So you have to really start actions before that 5-year period look back starts. So if you have, say, $1 million and you want to shield that from being considered an asset, you got to do that 5 years ahead of time. But a lot of information out there, pretty easy to get, but several hours from elder lawyers. But there's not a free lunch, folks, not a free lunch. If you do go into a long-term care facility on Medicaid and you don't have the ability to pay, Medicaid takes care of it. Number one, they're going to put a lien. They're going to keep track of how much money they expend. So say it's $100,000, just to make up a number, that they spend, Medicaid spends on your behalf. When that person passes away, there's a lien on any other assets, like a house. So if you have a $400,000 house and you have 0 assets, Medicaid takes over. The other spouse can live off their Social Security, but they put a lien on what they spend, and it lien against your house. So you're eventually it's pay me now or pay me later. Now, if you don't have any assets, yeah, you're going. Medicaid will take that expense for you, and a lien on nothing is still nothing. So that was information that I did not know going into this. I knew about the 5-year look back on your assets. Each state has a minimum, like if you're a married couple, each state has a minimum amount of assets that you can have or need to pass that threshold before Medicare is going to start to pay. But Medicare is going to be another second bad thing, not bad thing, just reality, is Medicaid's always going to be a semi-private room. And the semi-private room experience is vastly different from a private room, vastly different. Imagine 2 90-year-olds in a room with 2 TVs blasting on different channels, and one saying it's too noisy, the other one saying they want to sleep. They share a bathroom. One gets up in the middle of the night, has an issue, you can't sleep. It is a whole different experience that I've witnessed. It's just not good. If you can go private room, I'm telling you, it's a huge difference. Number 5, just how I have it listed here. My 5th point was staff means everything. We are very happy with the staff at the place that we found. Very caring people. I always enter through the front door and say hello to the staff. Let them know you appreciate them. That you know that they're giving it their all. One thing to recall from my first video is this was a 1-star Medicare rated facility, 1 star, and out of 5. And I love this facility. I went to a 5-star that I thought was terrible. So be careful of the Medicare rating. Go to the facilities, talk to the staff. It's all about the staff, and there's massive turnover and massive vacancies at every place. So many of the people that work at my mom's nursing home, they're working overtime, they're working double shifts. So there's massive turnover. So just because somebody's rated a level 5 today, that whole staff could be different 3 months from now, and it could be a level 1. So be very cautious of the Medicare rating. My next point is that they have an on-staff doctor that assumes the role of all mom's doctors, which is very cool. Everything goes, they're their primary physician for everything. But they can recommend a specialist. For example, mom's going out to see an eye doctor where it's not in this doctor's wheelhouse. So you can go away for a doctor's visit. Hey, one thing to pay attention to when you're looking at nursing homes, transportation to my mom's doctor, or transportation anywhere she goes, is all included in the price. So a lot of places it's a la carte, so that you may find something that's a lower price, but find out what's included. Transportation is a big one. Mealtime, dad orders with mom on a weekly menu every Wednesday. They say, what do they want to eat for the next week? You can always get some, and there's things to pick from, like lasagna or tuna salad or things like that, that they have, turkey. But there's always some staples like a hamburger and grilled cheese that you can get, peanut butter and jelly if you don't like anything that's on the menu. Kind of reminds me of a high school cafeteria. Back when I went to high school in the late 70s, early 80s. I don't know what high schools are like now. Special events, I was very happy. They had a nice Thanksgiving dinner where they invited the whole family in. There were probably 200 visitors coming in, family and friends coming in for everybody. They had a trick or treat where some school children came by dressed up and the residents passed out candy and had Christmas caroling. And I'm just on day 50. I think I said that. Been in day 50 and we've already had some major events. Now I know it is the couple holidays coming up around here. So, but very impressed. Daily events, they have things like bingo, crafts, and puzzles all the time. Mom goes to therapy Monday through Friday where she works on climbing steps, walking. They got a little bicycle there. They got a little hand bicycle too that my mom enjoys just for general movement. One of her favorite things, and you know, it's pretty cool that the PT people have this practice, is that they get put about 5 or 6 residents in a circle, all in a wheelchair, and they have a balloon, and they just kind of hit at this balloon to kind of keep it going and up in the air. And they really enjoy that. They think that's fun and laugh a lot. Mom's responding well to that. They actually encourage family members not to participate in their PT and not to be present because the residents seem to do better when they don't have the family there. If with family, they tend to be less guarded against complaining or about aches and pains, but when they're with the PT people, they want to try to impress them. So probably more to that, but that's my take. One of the things my family is struggling with is our visitation plan. I've said this was we just passed day 50, but the good news is mom is gaining strength. Memory's still real bad. But currently, my dad is there at least 8 hours a day for all 3 meals. Comes in. It's a 5-minute drive for him, so he's able to come and go once or twice during the day. But he's there about 8 hours a day. And one of the kids, we have 3 boys here in town. My sister lives out of town. One of the kids is there each evening. And is that sustainable? I can tell you it's hard. I have about a 30-minute drive there, so to spend an hour and a half there, it ends up being 2.5 hours of an evening. I'm doing that a couple days a week now. My other brothers are shouldering more of the burden than me. They have a shorter drive, but they're doing more. Most residents, and this is sad, they get 0 visitors. Some get 1 to 2 a week. We just take one day at a time. But it's really kind of sad coming in there and seeing about 100 people, and we're present all the time, but I'm telling you, it's wearing on us. So we're trying to work out what's our long-term plan going to be. If anybody's got any great advice on that, I'd love to hear it in the comments. One of the things that was surprising to me is, while you look at the residents, vast majority of them are 85 plus people, but there's several in their 60s, and I'd say 25% are men, and that hasn't been my experience visiting nursing homes, have so many men. The younger folks are, as a group, vastly overweight. Also, many are stroke victims. So stroke and being overweight, overweight, there's things I can control in my life about that. Fitness, exercise, and stroke has a lot to do with diet too. So it's just more motivation for me. But I thought that was interesting that there were some people younger than me in this nursing home. My next point, and these aren't in any particular order, just thoughts I had. It's depressing going there. It's pretty low quality of life. My mom has gotten significantly better in 50 days, but still needs a lot of help. Still needs 2 people to transfer her. The activities of daily living, those tasks, she basically can't do any of them. For the residents, they're, every day is the same. Today's just, every day's Tuesday. It's just another day. The only thing to differentiate her is, like I said earlier, is PT is Monday through Friday. My sister, who has some experience in nursing, she's a nurse. She said nursing homes are the best option to a very, very, very bad situation. And I think that's pretty accurate. My last comment is the paperwork for private pay is a part-time job. My brother-in-law told me this in advance, and I'm the conduit as power of attorney for the long-term care facility, the long-term care insurance, Medicare, and the Medicare supplement. And there's so many paperworks and boxes that need to be checked going back and forth that it seems like it's it's a couple hours a week. Not only that I'm coordinating things like this, but then trying to learn. They'll tell you something and you'll say, well, that's not what I read. So, and I'm early on in this, maybe it'll settle down, but my brother-in-law says it won't. So a lot of paperwork. So, and holding hands and getting things moved from one facility to the next to get things paid. So that's my update. Again, take a look at my first video on this topic, and maybe these lessons I'm going through will help you in your time. One question that I got several times in my first video is, has my position changed on getting long-term care insurance? And what I'll say is not yet. My dad's got decent long-term care insurance. It covers up to $300,000 and will burn through, $100,000 a year. But, you look at the cost of long-term care insurance, and if I could set that money aside now, I'll be far better prepared by saving that money independently than buying long-term care insurance. your probability of needing the long-term care insurance is, check that out for yourself. The quote you'll hear is 70% of the people need long-term care assistance, but they count if a husband takes care of a wife or wife takes care of a husband a little bit at home for no charge, that's included. The numbers are a lot lower than that. But you also need to be able to save and prepare for this. So can you take part of your assets and dedicate them to long-term care? You invest that in the S&P 500 for 25 years, starting at age 60. I think I'll be better off. We'll see. Who knows? But my position is still to self-fund my long-term care and my wife's long-term care. The first person, it's really, will come out of assets, well, like financial assets. And the second person can come out of the house, because if you go into long-term care, you don't need your house. So that's kind of my thinking. If you think I'm crazy, let me know in the comments. And if you learned something here or got a lesson for me, especially around visitation, long-term visitation, long-term care, if you're doing something pretty cool and interesting that works for your family, let me know. It's Joe out.